The historic Buddha. Buddhism, or as it is known among its followers, the Dharma, is the religion preached by the Buddhas. A Buddha is one who has attained Bodhi. By Bodhi is meant an ideal state of intellectual and ethical perfection, which can be attained by a person by purely human means. Of the many that have attained Bodhi, the one best known to history is Gautama Sakyamuni. Gautama Sakyamuni is generally spoken of as the founder of the Dharma, but Sakyamuni himself refers in his discourses to Buddhas who had preached the same doctrine before him. Nor can we speak of the Buddha as the founder of Buddhism in the same sense as we speak of the founder of Christianity or Mohammedanism. Their founder is essentially a supernatural being. He is the incarnation of the Son of God, who was no other than God himself. No one can call himself a true Christian who does not accept the divinity of Jesus and who does not believe that Christ rose from the dead after dying on the cross to take upon himself the sins of all those who believe in him. Mohammed, the founder of the latter religion, though not an incarnation of God or any of his relations or servants, is yet a privileged human being who was chosen as the special vehicle for the communication of a supernatural revelation to mankind, and no man can call himself a Muslim who does not believe that Mohammed is the prophet of God. But the Buddha nowhere claims to be anything more than a human being. No doubt we find him a full and perfect man. All the same, he is a man among humans. He does not profess to bring a revelation from a supernatural source. He does not proclaim himself a savior who will take upon himself the sins of those who follow him. He professes no more than to teach men and women the way by which they can liberate themselves, as he has liberated himself. He distinctly tells us that everyone must bear the burden of his own sins, that every man must be the fabricator of his own salvation, that not even God can do for man what self-help in the form of self-conquest and self-emancipation can accomplish. We read in the Dhammapada, a collection of verses attributed to the Blessed Sakyamuni, quote, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. By oneself, evil is done. By oneself, one suffers. By oneself, evil is undone. By oneself, one is purified. Purity and impurity being to oneself, no one can purify another. You yourself must make an effort. The Buddhas are only preachers. The thoughtful who enter the way are freed from the bondage of sin. He who does not rouse himself when it is time to rise, who, though young and strong, is full of sloth, whose will and thoughts are weak, that lazy and idle person will never find the way to enlightenment. Strenuousness is the path of immortality, sloth the path of death. Those who are strenuous do not die. Those who are slothful are as if dead already.